to Computer AF. I'm
Come
John.
and knock on our door. We'll be waiting for you.
When you told me you were going to be experimenting,
20 Computer AF is 2.
when I told you I was ready for anything, when you told me you were going to be experimenting, I wasn't ready for that. But that is a nice rose gold color.
Thank
Look
you
at
very
that.
much. Yeah. I have the echo set to 100% echo, which is the most annoying. I have had it taken away from me several times.
Let me fix my wall. It's too.
I used to have, I think I may have even told this story on the show, but I'll tell it again. If you haven't heard it, you need to hear it. We used to have a karaoke machine, and I would use it for stress release, come home from work and sing and whatever, and it was cathartic. And then apparently I pushed it too far when I ordered a plate of cold cuts. I was like, from my husband, I was like, hey, and can I get a plate of meats and cheeses? And he came out and he unplugged the machine.
Hey Ann, I heard you have a wall zit.
I do, yes. Oh, and sorry, everybody. I'm Ann, a whole award.
That's right. And like I mentioned, I'm John Boyd, and I have a face zit that I'm trying to get rid of.
To make John feel better about his blemish, which, by the way, he should not. We're not blemish shaming here because blemishes are normal and natural. I have just recently patched this wall from some screws from moving these shelves. So, hey, look, let's celebrate our imperfections. Speaking of imperfections, I have revised my long-standing position of never discussing politics on.
You would sometimes approach it and then
like lightly dance into it, and just sort of not feeling the need. The thing was always don't offend other people, don't alienate other people. It's not good for business. It's not good for whatever. But I think that, as somebody who talks a lot about tech and talks about it on TV and talks about it on various YouTube shows and podcasts, I feel like I don't want to look back on this time and think, well, I helped by not saying anything. And I have to say something now because I feel like it's a daily assault on my senses when I watch the news that things that we've all held sacred are no longer sacred, and it's getting kind of gross. So I think I would very much like to dance in that dance, but I also want to celebrate John for over a year ago having a rage out moment, which I timed. Well, Elon. You were early Elon, just like detractor, and here we are.
I mean, I was mixed bag Elon. I'm still technically mixed bag Elon. Like, I still like some of the various projects that he's working on. But even today, I just saw a news story that there is a massive amount of the satellites that he's put up there. The Starlink satellites are coming down. I don't know the exact numbers. I just know it's like a big percentage. I just saw the article in passing. And it's at this point, it's just like even the stuff that I really like that he was doing, he just can't stay in a lane. To totally back up and to
setting the timer.
Yeah, right. Well, to totally back up and to just like sort of fortify why you are making the move you're making in terms of that you're willing to talk about politics now a little bit more. It's that in the past it was possible and feasible and reasonable to allow for a, partitioning so that, you can talk a tiny bit about it, but then mostly you're talking about non-political matters. We don't want to annoy people, upset people. But now it's gotten to the point where people like Elon, these tech people, tech is what we talk about on Computer AF, these tech people are just making decisions that could get rid of Social Security and could do things that a lot of people disagree with, and it's affecting everyone's life. I mean, I was just talking to you about it a little bit. Cars, because of the tariffs, may go up $12,000 per car.
We're talking about you possibly getting a new car. Well, that's on hold.
That's probably on hold, and so I'm gonna have to pay the $3,000 to get the seepage from the oil seepage. I'm gonna or find him on
timer, but you're fine.
Yeah, it's right. But you
get what moved on. You didn't need it. You don't need it anymore. We don't need that timer.
Well, because all the subjects have bled together now.
Yeah.
It's weird. Yeah, politics has bled into the rest of our lives to the point where we can't even move forward without trying to get it off our chest. So
Right. And I think as tech pundits, this is the worlds are too heavily combined, and I think big tech has blood on its hands. I think, we've seen what's happened to these larger corporations that have decided to just stop DEI initiatives. Target, it's cost them billions. Apple was reviewing their policies, and then Trump came in and told them, like, hey, you need to end this. Like, who are you to tell Apple what to do? Like, they're not like, maybe let's focus on the antitrust cases against Google or the monopolies, or like let's do something beneficial to people. I don't get what DEI initiatives are hurting with in big tech. It's up to them.
it's up to them.
They
Yep.
Right. Look, I don't
I
get
mean,
why
yes,
this is something that
conservative,
the
at least.
government needs to step in on. Like, this is something that is up to these companies, right? It's not like we're talking about safety guardrails for children or other things that need to be regulated, right? So it's just very weird. It's like, are you that threatened?
I mean,
Are you that threatened that are you that threatened that you need to like come in as a big guy and stomp on
yes,
people?
of course. Yeah, I mean, this comes down to his personality. He's literally had to. I mean, if if you want to actually know why, he's had to get rid of everybody in his past administration, and basically have yes people everywhere who will just agree with him on everything that he wants to do. Everyone's a lackey, so you end up with only him deciding, and that's pretty much all you get. And so everyone is sort of afraid at his every little twist and turn he might take. So look, the bottom line is, take a look at like the Magnificent Seven or whatever it is, the several companies that sort of make up tech that are the biggest stocks in the world, right? They've all become political now. It's up to varying degrees. Once upon a time, we used to be able to do a story about Meta and Mark Zuckerberg, and we were just talking about his clothing. Oh, maybe his wife picked it out. And it's a fun little story, and we're having fun. We're not talking about sort of, now it's become political. Everything's become political to some varying degree. Meta, they gave millions of dollars to Trump. Alphabet, millions of dollars to Trump. Apple, millions of dollars to Trump. Jeff Bezos, changing the way the editorial board works at the Washington Post so that it's more leaning towards Trump. Everything becomes like a political thing with all these companies. You can't cover tech unless it becomes a political coverage as well. So I think that's just sort of, it makes perfect sense why you would be more willing to talk about politics at this point, because if you didn't, you wouldn't be able to talk about tech now at this point. So there you go.
I totally agree with you. I think that it's enmeshed, and I think that another term I learned the other day, which is tangential. Have you heard the term orphan crushing machine?
Orphan crushing? No, I haven't heard that term.
It's a notional machine representing a system or process that obviously facilitates suffering. Used as it came from a tweet somebody did in 2020 where they said every heartwarming human interest story in America is like, he raised $20 to keep 200 orphans from being crushed in the orphan crushing machine, and then never asks why an orphan crushing machine exists or why you need to prevent it from being used. It's almost like, you've got your different facets of social and culture, right? You've got your political people, you've got whatever, and then you've got your do-gooders. And this is like another level beyond toxic positivity, right? So it's people doing these things and feeling good about it, and then no one questioning the concept of, why is this a thing? Like, why is it great that this school raised money for the janitor to have a car? Like, shouldn't he be paid a living wage? Like,
Right. Yeah.
if he's like working full time?
According to the people who run the country, no, he should not be paid a living wage.
Right.
Definitely.
And so your values start to feel like they're getting attacked, but then there's like this onslaught of content that makes you want to feel good, but if you actually think about it, you don't feel good. Which takes me to my hottest goss / topic.
Okay.
Which is that I like to subscribe to a lot of different Substacks. As you know, I like to curate my information and do so thoughtfully. And so I like to follow the Youngs.
I like spending time.
I know you like spend time with them in person. Like, you're more like in touch, but I do it from afar.
No,
Is it?
you do have that one friend who you went to the comedy show with. She's like in her
Oh, I have
20s.
young friends. Yes, I do have younger friends, but I just
It's tough to
generally,
maintain and cultivate them. I
yes,
will.
for internet trends, I like to follow certain Substacks, and so I have gleaned from several of these that Instagram Reels are now shorthand to the younger folks for cringe.
Oh, for real?
Like, oh, why don't you go do reels? Why don't you go
Huh.
do put that in a reel? Because I guess maybe there was too much
Uh,
pressure and people put them out and they were too polished.
mm.
So I just thought that was really interesting how the tide had turned on that, because people really like were leaning on it with the TikTok ban and they saw good numbers. I was shocked to read that, but I haven't posted one in a while because it's a lot of pressure. I think that people have found that it's like too overly produced, and so when you're trying to have that moment, you often miss the mark, right? And so that reminded me, so it's gone from being like a normal thing that internet marketers do, people do, teens do, to becoming an insult. Oh, that's perfect for reels. That's like a put down.
Got it. Sort of like a bless your heart kind of a thing almost.
Yeah.
I think
So,
TikTok is where it's at. And, but as far as, I mean,
but
just
you,
it's the Instagram stories are okay. And the Instagram, just regular images are all right.
right.
The trading memes back and forth on Instagram is a national pastime. To me, that me and you
You
spent.
and I sharing beautiful reels is honestly like the reason I love sharing them with you is that I do so without judgment. Some people will judge you, some people will be like, "Oh, I don't like that. Oh, I already saw that." It's like, just move on. If you've already seen it, move on.
The thing is that there are some people who you share certain types of reels, or not reels, but memes back and forth with.
Yeah.
Like for you, I'm going to be sharing kitty cats and general dog stuff, and there will be rocking
Fabulousness. Fabulousness.
some gay good old times, some gay old times.
Hot dudes. Yeah.
Yeah, some dudes from 1878 who look like just as good as any guy around today.
I
Yeah,
love a Victorian hottie. I love a Victorian hottie moment. Yeah. And I really I enjoyed the story you were telling me earlier about NFC.
oh, yeah. Is it NFC? I wrote it down. Here, it's right over here. Let me just grab it.
We're at the age where we have to take notes, but I don't think that's a bad thing, honestly.
So
We actually had this great conversation about it. It's a gaming term.
yeah, so it's NPC, non-player
Oh
character.
my god, I'm so old. I got it wrong.
The deal is that young people nowadays are starting to get into the manifestation thing, the secret and all that, where you look at reality and you figure out that reality is just a game and you can, get money and get manifest. But they use like young people gamer terms for it. So the term is you don't want to be an NPC. NPC is bad. And yes, little hearts floating up.
I know. I'm doing my own emojis.
Yeah, no, that's great. I need to get some of those and do those for you.
It's actually just a random Valentine heart that fell on the floor that I never put away. So
it works perfect. But the point is,
we don't have a high effects budget here.
So you know how when you're playing a game, you play, like say if you're playing a first person shooter, I know how you're into those so much, and you're going around, you run around, and it's like San Andreas, where you're trying to sell drugs and trying to kill people and trying to move up the ranks of the organized crime circuit. And you're talking to all these folks who aren't actual players. You have like people like you and other friends of yours who are playing the game. And then there are people who you interact with who are just the computer. They're non-player characters. They're NPCs. What these kids are thinking is that there's a lot of people out there who are just NPCs in life. They follow the rules. They follow what reality tells them to do. They, oh, now you're just, oh, yeah. They're
just like at this plant. They exist.
Yeah.
They're just doing that one thing they do.
But you don't want to be an NPC. You want to be the other thing, which I think I wrote down on a different piece of paper, which is you're like the main controller guy. You're like the main controller. You're like the main character. So you don't want to be the NPC, but you do want to be the main character. So you want to be the person running around dictating how reality is going to go. You don't want to be the one who just accepts what reality gives you. So anyway, the kids nowadays are using video game terminology for these things and calling everything the Matrix. I think the Wachowski brothers / sisters now should get all the money. For every time we say the word Matrix, they should get 10 cents and they would be richer than Elon Musk. So
I mean, they weren't off on that whole thing.
yeah, no, they
didn't get that wrong.
They did not.
No, some internet stuff doesn't. Some movies and memes don't age well. That one, chef's kiss. That one, they nailed it. Because it's a lot of dystopian type posts that I've been seeing that are like, this is the wrong timeline and this is what is going on here. Like there's a lot of
that too. It's called black pill. So it's you have in the Matrix, Neo was tasked with deciding, do I want the red pill or the blue pill or whatever that was, and
the pills.
Lawrence Fishburne was like, you'll do this one, and if you do this one, if you do this one, you'll wake up and you'll still be in the Matrix. If you do
He's so cool. I'd take anything he gave me, honestly.
Honestly,
yeah.
Yeah. Give me more Lawrence Fishburne. Anyway, you know what happened. Well, the black pill is the constant, spouting of everything is bad, we're all going to die, nuclear war, this, that, and the other thing, AI will kill us, all the negative sort of black tropes. So that's the black pill. Some people have swallowed the black pill and they're spewing that out everywhere. Chemtrails coming from the sky. They're trying to implant brain chips.
I hear your words and I don't quite understand them, but I'm really trying. I'm chemtrails. I don't your fancy words.
Chemtrails are the stuff that come from these planes that supposedly aren't the regular planes. They're like somebody else's planes. They're just dropping chemicals that they are dropping to harm us, basically. But are partially to harm us. Michigan. It could be Michigas. Could be, but I think RFK, I was going to say Robert Downey Jr. No, RFK.
Oh my God, I would love him to be in the cabinet. That would be amazing. He was Iron Man in there.
I would love him to just be president. He would be he should run. He would be such a better president than Trump. Oh my God.
I can't get over Secretary Rubio. That still is like, what?
Yeah, he's having a tough time. He's just sitting on the couch watching it happen. And
SNL nailed it. That was so good.
He's literally like watching a train crash in front of him. Anyway, okay, I hope we've exercised some of the demons.
And our free speech, our right to free speech, which we, by the way, still have and always will. I don't doubt that certain things are always going to hold true. I do believe that
not on Twitter. Like, did you hear about Bill Burr? Bill Burr, in criticizing the Twitter guy, Elon Musk, in criticizing him, he got like shadow banned or banned completely from X, Twitter.
Well, it's good that we're such good sports about it.
And he's like, I haven't even been tweeting. I don't even tweet. And he's like, sent a message saying your tweets were looked at and they were bad. So now you're banned or whatever.
But I thought we didn't do censorship.
No.
Oh, wait. That's for you, not for us. Got it. Yeah. Cool. That's awesome. Well, I like Bill Burr. He's funny.
Bill. Yeah, he's one of he's pretty much my favorite now.
Oh, did you see that whole flap about him and Billy Corgan? They apparently are half brothers.
What? No. Well, they do look alike.
I mean, the bald head doesn't hurt, right? And they both kind of have a similar face vibe. But I wouldn't have thought those two. But apparently, an article came out, and I forget who outed who, but the other one was mad. But they had already been like kind of aware that they might be brothers because their dad was kind of one of those Rolling Stone types, just rolling around making babies. Yeah,
I didn't know that. What I thought, you'll like this reference.
I gotta look it up now so I can make sure I didn't.
While you do that, I thought it was a similar kind of thing to the drummer of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I forgot his name, and he's an excellent drummer.
Oh, and Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell, yeah. Where it's like they look almost exactly the same-ish, so much so that Will Ferrell's like doing, sketches as him. But there are some, really good videos of the Red Hot Chili Pepper drummer.
Oh, no, I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah.
He is excellent. What a rhythmic, amazing drummer he is. He did a thing where he would take like songs from Wicked or some other type of thing, and he would like put a drum beat behind it, and it made it better. And it was like, wow. So he's He's incredible.
It was on the Howie Mandel podcast. I guess he's the one who added it, and then they both
Oh,
added him. But Howie Mandel, like, okay, sure, you have a podcast. Who doesn't? But you know who does have a podcast? Everybody.
yes, yes.
Um,
Including us.
YouTube says it now has more than 1 billion monthly viewers of podcast content.
I
One
tell you, there's no need for cable TV anymore, practically.
1 billion. I mean, I am for sure subscribing to cable because, White Lotus and all the other shows.
Yeah. Yep.
So, what are we watching?
Yes, exactly. White Lotus. So I didn't watch last night's episode, so I need to watch that, but I've watched the first 2 episodes. I love how all 3 seasons are connected. I was
They've
really
kind of woven it in thoughtfully. I like that too. I miss Jennifer Coolidge because she's such a wonderful actress, so funny.
yeah.
But I like that they gave her kind of a callback last night. But I won't. No spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers. I'm
48 hours, and then I start texting spoilers.
yeah, no, I need to go check that out right after I'm done editing a story that I'm editing for I'm actually writing for Inside Bitcoins now, and
Oh,
they were owned by Business to Community. I'm not writing for Business to Community anymore. I'm writing for Inside Bitcoins, which is one of their other sites, and so that's going okay. And writing, taking older stories and fixing them up to make them look nicer. So it's a good gig, and but yeah, it's once I'm done with that, I'll go watch the latest episode. You know what I've been watching is Reacher. Yeah,
oh yeah, my mother loves that show. I mean, look at him. How could you not watch him?
yeah,
She, I guess, read the books. I think there's books.
there are books. There are books.
I didn't, so I wasn't as into it. I just was like, sure, I'll put him on.
Mhm.
He can be on my TV.
Yeah,
But I kind of got lost after season 1. I didn't really get into season 2 as much. But when I run out of stuff I want, I'll always revisit it. I always like to have some comfort shows.
what are you watching besides the comfort shows? Any like newer stuff?
White Lotus, the Yellow Jackets is on, although I'm not really like this season. I'm kind of like,
Yeah.
I would say I finished Twin Peaks, which was interesting.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You
The recent
know,
deceased Peter David Lynch.
yeah, I have been sort of. I went and saw Mulholland Drive with a friend, not knowing any context of it, and just being told it was an amazing movie.
Mhm.
In Mulholland Drive, we missed the first 5 minutes just due to just life and parking and
Mhm.
we had to get a glass of wine first, right?
Yeah.
And I think I need to go and watch that first 5 minutes. I don't think it would have made the rest of the movie make any sense, but it's a trip. That movie is a trip. David Lynch was ahead of his time.
It's like a 2.5 hour long film, right? I was supposed to watch it with my friend Mo from Santa Barbara. She got the Criterion channel and she has me on her Criterion channel. So it has all the old great Hollywood stuff. And, but a lot of stuff from the 90s and the 2000s, et cetera. And Mulholland Drive just got on there after, well, probably has been on there a while, but as soon as David Lynch died, they just threw it right on there.
Yeah. I mean, it was compelling and upsetting and like annoying, but interesting. I mean, it just, you're up and down and here and there. And he definitely doesn't let you get comfortable and settle into a storyline. He keeps you moving. So again, if I had maybe seen that first 5 minutes, I don't know that there would have been any clues there. That's why I need to rewatch the first bit because we missed it.
Yeah. It sounds like Memento by, what's his name?
Oh, I know that one. Yeah. Yeah.
It goes backwards and the main character doesn't remember anything. And so everything is just like sort of, it's hard to keep a narrative, but you get it by the end, but it's kind of hard.
Yeah. I mean, that is it's complicated, but that one you're not like afraid to go to the bathroom. Like you could still catch up because you get the concept. You get the concept. There is no like, hey viewer, here's the concept. Let me share this with you. It's dream sequence, reality, dream sequence. Oh, there's a bunch of weird looking people laughing. Oh, there's a car crash. Oh, there's like, it really is a thrill ride. You just want to have a glass of wine and be prepared to look it up afterwards, because I had to basically read a couple blogs to kind of piece it together. But again, maybe that first 5 minutes. And then it didn't help that when we were getting our wine, the young woman helping us was like, yeah, I just saw this and you really don't want to miss the first bit. And I was like, I'm missing it right now. Like, so like we get in there and I'm like, okay, I'm an intelligent person. I'm a published author.
Do this. I can do this.
I'm a college graduate. I can do this. And I couldn't. I couldn't. So if you're gonna watch Mulholland Drive, just plan on like muting your phone
What me and
just
Marie
paying full attention.
what me and Maureen will usually do is like we'll start watching around 7:30. But with this film, we saw it was 2.5 hours, and we knew that it was a David Lynch film, and so we just never started it. We went for our next film that we had down the line, which was like a 1930s film. I think I told you about it with oh, I forget the names, but old timey actors, but they're really good. They're like the Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie of their day. Anyway, it was a comedy. It was good. Anyway, we watched that. It was only like an hour and 45 minutes, which is a lot better than 2 hours and 30 minutes of David Lynch not making sense half the time. And it's already late and he's just, nah, not tonight. And so I don't know if we're ever going to see it. I might start watching it, but it will be broken up into different sections.
It was good in the theater because I had no choice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wine. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a glass of wine, and so I was like,
the Alamo Draft House.
No, this is at the Soho House. They have a screening room there, so it was like very luxe, but at the same time, you're just sort of like, is anyone else? I kept like looking over at my friend, like,
anyone else understand this?
Are you kidding this? And she just did this to me.
Well, hey, did we have any, bric-a-brac aside, did we have any other things that we wanted to rail against in the world? We're already like 27 minutes into this.
I mean,
Any other
rail
thoughts?
against? No. I mean, I would say, Anthropic came out and talked about Claude 3.7.
They also did a fundraising round, like 3 billion or something. Now they're worth 1 billion or something.
They seem to be, I feel like, emerging as like the folk hero.
Yeah.
Of the AI wars, but you know, good for them. Their CEO seems to be like an actual human person, not a robot. But the headline I read was, hey, it only cost a few tens of millions to train.
Right. Right.
And I'm just thinking, oh, what a bargain. Cool.
DeepSeek. I remember ages ago, because it feels like lifetimes ago, we had Computer AF 19, and DeepSeek was one of our top stories that we talked about in Computer AF 19. Yes. And now no one's mentioning that at all. It's like no one's talking about that at all. Has there been anything new? Does anyone know how much that one was? How much that cost to test, or was it like they did it for $47 on a Friday night? We have DeepSeek now. Sorry.
I mean, that's how casual they were about dropping it, right? They were so casual about it. The notable thing being they didn't have access, or we were told that we didn't have access to the good chips, right?
Yes.
So the thing is,
everyone is so trustworthy.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, they're known there for their transparency.
Oh yeah, China. Yeah.
Yeah, there's totally open book.
There are
the thing is, I mean, who knows? But I mean, who are the good guys? I don't know.
And I'm trying not to be an NPC, a non-player character. I'm trying to be the main player. Sorry.
You have main character energy. I feel like I know I do, but sometimes I don't, and I pretend I don't. And when I do, I'm not doing a service to myself. That's the thing. You know what I mean? Like,
don't be an NPC, baby. Don't be an NPC.
I'm not person chooser. I don't know what it stands for.
DeepSeek. I have to get you back on topic because I totally
DeepSeek. Yes, DeepSeek. Oh my god. They're introducing a new model. I think it's one of those things where I think the person or the company that is the latest gets the most benefit, because they get to basically like remix or learn. It's like, P. Diddy using all of Biggie Small's stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
remixing all of his stuff. You get the benefit when you're later
Yep.
to go and take advantage of other people's learning. So the DeepSeek did, to be fair, have that, right?
Yeah.
So whoever's first isn't necessarily the winner. ChatGPT arguably still is because of the user base, the amount of enthusiasm and support they have in integrations, right? But not partnerships that they have. But they're going to have to maintain that lead and keep that cost. And so by doing that, by being first, you lose that advantage. So
Yeah.
ironically, Grok
Ugh.
actually was able to benefit from that by being later. I haven't played with it very much yet,
Yeah.
but from what I understand, people love it. Some people love it, but you kind of have to pay for it. So a lot of these we're starting to see paywalls go up too, which is, I think, you kind of expected was going to happen. They want to get you hooked, just like your local neighborhood dealer. They want to get you hooked.
Well, look, the
And
deal. Yeah, I was just going to say the deal is with a lot of these is that they probably behind the scenes advanced a lot more than they're actually showing. So even if a DeepSeek comes along and like is supposedly so great, how much of a threat is it really? Because GPT can just roll out without saying anything some aspects of the way that GPT performs, and it will perform better than it had, and people will be continue to be satisfied with GPT and not feel the need to go to DeepSeek. And there'll be enough, as you pointed out, there's so many people using GPT that a lot of them will stay, or most of them will stay anyway. It's sort of gonna continue on, and yeah.
yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a dance with who brought you situation,
Yeah.
for a lot of users, right? But then there are your wanderers like me. Like, I'm going to use whatever I
Good
want
check.
to test at the time, especially like, the mashups of, Perplexity, which is LLM plus search. So you've got index plus AI, and that is very intriguing to me. I spend a lot of time testing and understanding there. But not everybody has the kind of time to do this investment, whatever. And for those people, you're going to use just the thing that works, right? This is just what I do. So I'm always going to be kind of testing and trying. That's why I'm like, I should have been testing Grok more. I should have, like, I'm always wanting to do more. But the fact is, if I need something done quickly, I'm the most likely to go to Gemini at this point
Mm.
because I am a Gmail user. I'm a Google Workspace business user, and it's all integrated in, and it's easy. And most of what I use it for now is proofreading.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Hey, I was going to send this raging email. Let me lightly soften it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That works really well. I type what I want, and then seeing the robots distill the essence of what anger I am coming to the party with, especially like, as I may have mentioned, I'm the HOA president of a condo I own,
Oh, yeah.
a rental property. And let me tell you, the emails I want to send versus the ones that I actually send,
Yeah.
but it takes and it distills, like, this conveys the serious tone, and it will like characterize. I had it once tell me, like, remove the passive aggressive. I was like, ouch. But like, I love it. But I also like love it. You know what I mean? I love that it's telling me the vibe I'm giving.
Yeah. It's a mixed bag. You're getting stuff you don't want to hear, but you need. So
Right.
it's,
And I'm sending nicer emails as a result. I
yeah.
I obviously don't. I historically wouldn't send those emails. I would sleep on them, or I would ask my husband or a friend. I would just be like, is this a little salty? Like, I usually would sleep on it if I felt like it was, but
Now
this
there's,
way it's just like, boom. Hey, Gemini, rewrite this, make me sound nicer.
yeah. Now you can just keep it running. You don't need to wait a night.
Right.
Well,
So it's
yeah.
shortening our time. It's shortening our time. But I was on a webinar earlier today talking about bots. And so in my research for that, um, I've realized, like, I didn't even think about AI on the forefront of spam. Like, captchas, right? Like when you fill
Yeah.
out forms as internet marketers, we're like all concerned about forms and form fills for leads. Like we can now mimic human behavior with AI online.
Yeah. Yeah.
So captcha, bye bye. So no more picking bicycles and motorcycles, guys.
Yep. It can be, you have enough money, you can buy the right AI to get by all the caption and everything for sure. So I mean, I was prepared to go into whole spiel about like, as sort of like an addendum to the whole like politics thing and the US having difficulties, like looking at other countries as a place to live instead, porn type of thing. Like Spain is a good one, Costa Rica is a good one, and Panama are a good one. But maybe that we can save that for next week's show, just so that we don't go over too long.
Yes, the I'm going into the belly of the beast that is known as South by Southwest.
Oh, so yeah, give us a little mini preview.
Yes. This year I think will be probably a reflection of what's happening in the world as it generally is. I'm expecting a lot of political stuff. I'm expecting probably a demonstration or two. I'm expecting definitely some spicy speaker things. There's, the celebrities and all that is all going to be expected as always. I would say the activation that I'm the most curious to check out is the Whataburger house.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Because it looks so fun, and what a fun brand to do it, and it makes total sense. um Last year the most fun I had was at the LaCroix house because it was just a celebration of LaCroix and just so many like little Instagram moments. All the little girls the ladies were just like loving. And then I got on in there. I like judged and then I got in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's what we do. But I definitely I'm gonna see some interesting. I think I'm really gonna try and do more panels this year. I say that every year, but I actually am gonna do the panels. I have a pass. Thank you, Grit
Oh, cool.
Daily. I'm gonna be representing Grit Daily, so who knows what fun content will appear on the site as a result.
I look forward to the next time around when you give us a recap of everything that happened and of the great house that they have for at least one day this year with lots of different speakers. You got to go check it out.
Yeah, you got to check out Grit Daily House, and definitely you'll get some high caliber content. I know I have a few friends speaking. I don't know if I am yet or not. I might be there. You never know. I might not be. I might be floating around, but I will for sure be putting some great content on the Grit Daily site.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, this means that the next time around we're going to turn 21. So
finally legal.
Yeah.
Drink. I mean, drink on the show. This is a Yeti full of water because I had
I left mine in the other room.
Yeah, I've been hydrating just senselessly this whole time.
That's good.
Rehydrating before the debauchery.
Any other final words of bric-a-brac?
I don't know. Life is a highway.
I'm gonna ride it all night long.
Great words from Cochran. I'm gonna ride it all day long. I'm gonna just throw myself into the conference this year.
Yeah.
My political statement is that I am going to be reminding people I'm Canadian. I've got a visor. I've got a hat. Yeah, my political statement is representing my home country that everyone loves, and why we're picking fights with, I don't know. I mean, obviously for the
it comes back down to
resources.
It just comes back down to him. Nothing. We would not have any of these issues if it wasn't for him. Thank God he is on the older side, and it hopefully should not last too much longer. I'm hanging on for dear life. So
I believe in democracy. I believe in this country, and I think that it's a hard time right now, but I think we have to remember it's pendulum.
Yes.
Swings one way, it swings back. It will not be this way forever. If you're happy, I'm happy for you. If you're not, I'm sorry, but know that one way, the other, that's how this goes. It's always been this way. And so it just feels like a very extreme this way, but the status quo will preserve itself. I really do believe that We're going to be fighting this out in court. People are going to be talking to the representatives. I really, truly believe that people will fight for what they believe in. That's what this country was founded on. And I don't think that we should just sit on the internet and whine. I think people should write their representatives, call their Congress people, let your voice be heard.
Yep.
Do something. I'm going to wear a very sassy bracelet.
Good.
That lets my feelings be known, and I'm going to talk to people about it, and I'm going to rate my congressperson.
And with that,
yes.
And let's look forward to turning 21 the next time around, and hopefully things will be looking brighter, and we'll continue to keep looking brighter.
Exactly. The future's so bright, we'll have to wear shades. If not, here's a delightful Tom Hiddleston dance montage on a card I'm giving a friend for her birthday. Putting on cheaters for this one. Yeah.
Tom Hiddleston.
Look up Tom Hiddleston dance on Graham Norton. You're welcome.
Yep.
It's
Love
a delight.
It's totes a delight. Don't be an NPC. I'll talk to you soon. Love you. See ya.